Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So how are you all my dear friends? I hope all are fine there. Before beginning with today's session, I would request all my viewers to view the video from the beginning till the end without skipping any portion in between so that you don't miss any important points, as a single point can be as important as a key for your success in different prometric examinations. So for those my dear friends who haven't subscribed my channel, please do subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon button too, so that you will be notified as I upload my videos. So let's begin with our today's session. I have drawn a rough diagram so that you can clearly understand various components of an FPD. This line represents a residual ridge. Okay, these are the abutment teeth and this is a fixed partial denture prosthesis. Now what does the word abutment means? It's nothing but the selected remaining tooth or teeth which receives a fixed partial denture prosthesis over it. The abutment can be single or multiple. Okay. Here you can see two crowns with the oval shaped structure, right? So these are the retainers of an FPD. The retainers are those structures of an FPD which gets attached over the selected abutment tooth or teeth. This represents the pontic of an FPD, which makes the most important part of it. The pontic is an artificial crown. It can be single or multiple. It replaces a missing natural tooth or teeth. Here comes the connector. Now the connector connects the retainer on one side to the retainer on other side and also connects the various components of an FPD. So I hope you are very clear with the components of a fixed partial denture prosthesis. So let's learn about the Antes law or the Antes law. I usually pronounce it as the Antes law. Okay, it's the most important part of an FPD. Why? I will explain it to you later. The Antes law states that the total perisegmental area of the selected abutment tooth or teeth, it should be always equal to or should be greater than the perisegmental area of the teeth which we are going to replace. Now what does the word perisegmental area means? It's nothing but the total root surface area of the selected abutment tooth or teeth. Okay, so the sum total of the root surface of the selected abutment tooth or teeth should be equal to or should be greater than the root surface area of the missing tooth which we are going to replace. So this is the chart of the root surface area of all the teeth in the maxillary and the mandibular arch. So accordingly, you will have to learn it so that you can calculate it for decision of the FPD making. Learn how to calculate the Antes law and how to decide whether we can replace a missing tooth or not in a particular situation. Okay, so this line represents the residual alveolar ridge. Okay, and these two are the mandibular teeth, the mandibular second premolar and the mandibular second molar. Okay, so according to the chart which I have displayed in the previous slide, the total root surface area or the perisegmental area of the mandibular second premolar is 135, whereas the root surface area or the perisegmental area of the mandibular second molar is 282. As we have learned in the definition of Antes law that the total root surface area of the abutment tooth which we have selected for the synthesis or for the making of the FPD prosthesis, it should be equal to or should be greater than the one which we are going to replace. So the sum total of the root surface area of these two teeth comes out to be 417. Fine. Now here the first molar is missing, right? So according to the chart value, the root surface area of the mandibular first molar comes to be 352. Okay. Now this 352 is less than 417. So definitely we can replace the missing mandibular first molar. So is it very clear to you? So here I have created another situation, that is this time there is two missing teeth. That is the mandibular second premolar is missing and the mandibular first molar is missing. So according to the Ante's law and according to the chart which I have provided, the root surface area of these two selected abutment teeth, it comes to be 417. Okay. Whereas the total root surface area or the perisegmental area of one which we are going to replace, it comes out to be 487. So as we can see that the root surface area of the abutment teeth is less than that of the missing tooth. So in such situation, the prognosis of the treatment comes to be poor. So I hope we are very thorough with this concept. So when the total root surface area of the abutment tooth is equal to or greater than the one which we are going to replace, that means the prosthesis will be able to tolerate the occlusal forces well. Whereas when the root surface area of the abutment tooth becomes less than the one which we are going to replace, that means the entire occlusal forces comes on to the prosthesis, which will cause a pressure on the periodontal ligament and will lead to the fracture of the prosthesis or bending of the prosthesis and will lead to a very poor prognosis. Now, why the Ante's law becomes very much important part of a fixed partial denture prosthesis? Let's discuss. It's used as a clinical guideline to plan the treatment of a fixed prosthodontics. It helps to decide which tooth to be selected for the abutment, how many abutment tooth should be required. Obviously, a larger tooth will provide a larger surface area which will bear the functional forces more as compared to a smaller tooth with a lesser surface area. But the crown is to root ratio is very important for it to bear the functional forces. Minimum 1:1 ratio is required for the satisfaction of Ante's law. Before beginning with the procedure, we need to do a pre-prosthetic planning. It includes the perio assessment of the tooth which we are going to select as an abutment tooth. So how the perio assessment be done? We should check for the mobility, recession, pocket or any presence of the furcation. And also the inclination plays a very important role in the selection of an abutment tooth. A severely inclined tooth will not withstand the forces as good as the one which is erect in position. The inclined tooth is used as abutment only when there is requirement of the shorter edentulous span bridge with less occlusal forces. The common path of insertion of all type of retainers in an FPD, the conventional fixed partial denture will be less than 25 degrees inclination, whereas for the resin bonded FPD, the inclination is less than 15 degree mesiodistally and the same plane faciolingually. The arch form is another important part which plays role in selection of an abutment tooth. When pontic lies outside the inter-abutment axis line, the pontic will act as a lever arm which will provide the torquing movement. Now just imagine these are the incisor surface of the central incisors and this is the occlusal surface of the premolar and this is the axial line. Okay, so when the pontic, what is pontic? The artificial crown which we are going to replace the missing tooth. Okay, so when the pontic, when it lies outside the axial line, when it lies outside the plane of this axial line, it will act as the lever arm which can produce a torquing type of movement. So it becomes a very common problem in replacing the maxillary incisors. In such cases, what we do is the first premolar is used as the secondary abutments so that it will provide an additional support for the pontics. And also, as the span of the FPD increases, there will be an increase in the occlusal load which is acting on the PDL, that is periodontal ligament, which makes the FPD less rigid. Here is a simple formula which will make you clear about this concept. The bending or deflection of an FPD is directly proportional to the cubic length of a pontic and inversely proportional to the cubic of occlusogingival thickness of the pontic. That means if there is one pontic in an FPD, it's 3 times more prone to get bent. If the FPD has 2 pontics, it is 8 times more prone to bend. So is it clear? Also, there are various factors which modifies the Antes law. First one is the bone loss due to periodosis. If this happens in the teeth which we want to select, so what should we do in such cases? We should definitely increase the number of the abutment tooth so that the pontic will get support from the additional abutment tooth. Second condition is the mesially or distally tipped tooth or changes in axial inclinations. In such situations also we should definitely increase the number of abutment tooth. Migration of abutment reduces the mesiodistal length of the dentulous space. So therefore, in such conditions, we should decrease the number of abutment tooth to be used as the less pericemmental support is required for us. The unfavorable opposing arch relationship produces increased occlusal load on the fixed partial denture prosthesis. So in such cases, we should increase the number of abutment as it will provide the additional support to the prosthesis. If the abutment teeth is endodontically restored with or without the root resection, here also we should increase the number of the abutments. So let's discuss what are the factors which affect the occlusal forces in an FPD. The degree of muscular activity, habits such as bruxism, number of teeth which are being replaced, leverage on bridge, and adequacy of the bony support. So what happens because of the excessive occlusal forces? There will be loosening of the prosthesis, the ceramic gets fractured, and will lead to the tooth mobility as well. The pontic tissue contact, which plays a very important role in hygiene. The tissue contacting surfaces on the pontic should be convex, smooth, and free of porosity. The area of contact should be minimal and free of pressure. So I hope everyone has enjoyed today's session. If you have enjoyed today's session, please do not forget to like and share, and also give your valuable feedbacks in the comment section which is just below this video. I will be coming up with more such amazing tips and tricks to memorize certain points with the discussions of various important topics for the different dental examinations, and also with the question answer sessions with the detailed explanation of all the options which are present in the session. So till then, take care. Bye.